What's up, guys? Welcome to the first Chump to Champ reaction video. So today we're going to be watching a match that I had in the Joola Teams tournament. And me and Jeremiah are just going to kind of watch the match and analyze, what I'm doing and what went right and what went wrong. And anything you want to add, Jeremiah?
uh, I mean, we decided to do this so we can watch what we're doing and see the mistakes that we're making, obviously. But are you ever sick of watching champs? Because, champs, it's kind of boring to watch them, right? They just make perfect shots all the time. But chumps,
Uh,
that's where it's at.
okay, you won't be seeing many perfect shots from me in this match. But okay, to set the stage, this was the Division 9 semifinal. But
But
anyway, this match is
who
against
won? You'll have to watch and find out.
yeah. This match is against about a 1200 rated player. It was a pretty close match, so let's just go ahead and play it and get started.
Oh, when you win the ball toss, getting warmed up, warming up the forehand.
Yeah. So some high pushes. Oh, and he
Yeah.
got a net. So right off the bat, like those pushes, in the match, you don't think they're that high, but you see them on the video. Wow, he really floated that one up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like 1-1. Okay.
See that forehand right there, you do like this pancake thing.
Okay.
You see that?
You're saying the one I missed on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The one I landed definitely looked a lot better than the one I missed on. The one I missed on, my elbow came up. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll say from the start, this guy was very tactical. This was a very tactical match.
Well,
And
these pushes are so high. You see these pushes
okay,
like 10 feet high.
so watching this match back, I actually wonder. I feel like in the beginning, this guy was just feeling me out. And I don't even know, I may even say he might have been popping it up on purpose just to see what I was doing. I'm not sure, but I almost have the feeling he was just popping them up. At the least, he was really feeling me out in this match and not too concerned, I think, with like actually winning the points. So I feel like I'm playing decently here. So pretty good backhand. Um, the thing I started noticing is this guy is really good kind of stepping back and blocking. So I think we see that like in that last point here.
Yeah, your
So,
forehand angle, it doesn't stay consistent from start to finish.
okay.
Like it should be a straight line.
Yeah. So do I close it at the top or open it? I think often I open it.
No, you're like pancaking it. Like you start at the bottom
You're saying I
and then you like
close the
curl
angle at the top.
over it. Yeah, you like
Okay.
see, look, you're curling over the ball instead of
Okay.
just a straight angle.
Yep. So in the past I also sometimes had this opposite problem where I'd open the angle too much.
Oh, look at that backhand. See, the backhands look great.
Okay. That seemed like a solid push from me and then a nice backhand opening. So that was a good point
Oh, he's
from
thinking about how to destroy you right now. You look kind of
oh,
surprised on
a
that.
TPB. Okay, I don't usually do that, but yeah, I think I was surprised by the positioning there. I actually won some points against some other players doing that. Okay, I'm moving the ball around decently with my backhand, so that's something I've
Yeah.
improved on. And I just missed the wide forehand there, but I think that was a pretty good tactic. I went backhand twice and then went to the wide forehand. I just barely missed it. Paralympic champion, by the way, that I just tossed the ball to there. Paralympic champion.
Really?
Yeah, tall level L something. I forgot how to say his last name. Oh, there with the backhand positioning and won the point.
Oh man, these pushes.
Oh man. Okay, so that I misread his serve there. Decent push, decent opening. Oh,
Wow. Yeah, the backhands are pretty solid.
Forehand smashes and I got it. Okay.
Yeah, the forehands, like, I feel like you're better with the forehand smashes because it's just like a flatter hit, right? And I think we
Yeah.
talked about that where
Yeah.
you kind of learned the forehand that way to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that forehand, you opened up the racket angle.
So you're saying that was a good forehand?
No. Uh,
Okay.
so
Oh, I did the opposite thing. Instead of pancaking, I did two open.
yeah, and it
Okay.
might actually be because of the height of the ball. Like maybe if the ball is lower, you start low, but then you end up opening your racket. But if the ball is higher, you might be going in for like this more flatter hit, and then you realize
Okay.
halfway through, you're like, oh crap, I need to actually close my angle, and it turns into like a pancake type of.
Okay. All right. So we just watched match one. Any overall thoughts?
Well, you won it.
I won
But
11-9, I think, so it's pretty close.
yeah, right. Uh, I mean, a lot of high pushes, obviously, but hey, we're chumps. That's what happens.
Yeah. High
So,
pushes from him or from me or both?
both.
Okay.
He's pushing pretty high, so it'll be interesting to see if that changes, like if that'll as you guys learn each other's serves, right?
Okay. I,
Um,
I think overall it was opening pretty well. So mostly with the backhand. I don't know if I did any forehand openings, but he was pushing. A lot of them were high. Some of them weren't as high, but overall I was getting a lot of openings. And then he was blocking a lot, but I was still overall winning a lot of the points where I was able to successfully open.
yeah.
And I feel like he was being very tactical, just trying different serves and moving the ball around to see what I would do. So, all right, looks like we're at the start of the second match.
I'm just trying to intimidate you. Look at that. See, read the top spin.
That was a weird serve,
Yep.
but I did a TPB block, which was like a dead spin, and then he hit into the net.
Yep.
Okay, he's testing me out with a
Forehand.
wide forehand serve a lot. In the first match, I returned a few of them decently. That one I missed. Um,
Yeah, I think he sees your forehand as your weak side because he's just pushed it like twice to your forehand side.
okay, so that point, I had the opportunity to attack, and instead I pushed it back.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
probably because of your lack of confidence in your forehand, right?
no. Well, can we replay that point? So there. So anyway, I think that was pretty high, and I could have forehand attacked it, but I chose tactically to push it to see what would happen. And then I saw here he missed a forehand, and I remember this from this game, him missing a lot of his forehand attacks. I remember that.
Yeah, but I feel, you know, when the ball is that high, I feel like you should be attacking it regardless because, yeah, you can count on him to miss because he's a chump, but as you move up like a 1300, 1400, 1500, they will not miss and they'll
Yeah,
attack,
yeah.
right?
So I guess let's just see what happens here. I think I was trying to be tactical here, and trying to feel him out.
Oh, feet out of position on that. Trying to do a backhand, but leaning forward too much.
Yeah. So there I push it again, and he missed it again.
Yeah.
So this is what I had in my mind at this point. Okay, I won the first game 11-9 with me opening the attacks. 11-9 is still kind of close.
Yeah, it seems
He missed
like
again.
right now he's
He
failing
just
to open up his
he just
attack,
missed
right?
three opening forehand attacks. I'm thinking maybe I can win this more comfortably if I just play passive and push to him, and maybe he'll just throw it away. That's what I'm thinking at this point. There's number four. Number four, four misses in a row on his forehand where I pushed it. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. Maybe foreshadowing. we'll see how good this strategy works. But I was feeling in the match, he's very tactical, and I'm like, I can't let him out tactic me. I have to be on top of my
Oh,
tactics. Okay, there I went for attack and got a lucky net. But overall in this game, I'm playing differently. I'm playing a lot more passive in this game. There
yeah,
I
that
missed
one
a
had a lot.
forehand.
That had a lot more underspin on it than you expected.
Yeah, it was
Slammed it
also
straight
like
on
it
that.
was also like short and high, which
Oh
like you
yes.
have to kind of do something different there. Um, there
With it
he,
being short, your swing probably goes more down, right,
yeah.
instead of forward, because you have to reach.
So there he just landed his first forehand, and I blocked long. More pushing. Okay,
Targeting
there,
forehand.
I pushed to him. He opened, but I successfully blocked it with my backhand and won the point.
So he might. It seems like he's losing his confidence in his own forehand, right? Because he isn't trying to open as much now.
Yeah, but he did get like two in a row after missing four in the beginning. So,
Yeah.
and there he just got one and he got the point. So I'd say his forehand is getting better now. But in my mind, I remember those four misses. So overall, I'm thinking that he's still overall not that confident with his forehand opening.
Oh, look at you with the forehand.
Yeah, so there's that wide serve that he's trying. It's common, I mean, righty versus lefty. And I'm doing that. In fact, there I do it to him. And there I, yeah, open with the backhand and won the point.
Uh-oh.
Nice to see. That was okay.
Yep, missing the forehand. 11-8.
Yeah, that last one was a pretty hard one to open. It was pretty low, and I lifted it with the backhand flick. But anyway, okay, let's pause here for a second and talk about this second game. So I won 11-8, which is pretty close to the first game, but I was more passive in this game. He missed some attacks, but landed some. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, really a lot of it is he made a lot of mistakes on the forehand, right? Like you said, 4 points in a row, he tried to do an opening and he missed each
okay.
time.
So
I think
here's
he
a
was getting a little more passive. Your forehand was also more successful, right? You were
I'd
doing like
yeah.
the flatter smash it, and it was landing on the table, which he had a hard time with. But
Okay. So here's a question for you, Jeremiah. If you're my coach in this match and you just watch these first two games, I won the first two games. I played the game one and game two a little differently. What would your advice to me be to play more like match one or more like match two?
let's see.
Or game one or game two?
I mean, okay, I guess the question is, what did you do differently from match one to match two, right? Because you still did
So
pushing to the forehand, right? Which
so
is,
I'll tell you what I think I did differently. In match one, I think I was more aggressive, particularly on the backhand side, and went for a lot of backhand openings.
mhm.
In match two, I played more passively and pushed more. He also pushed more to my forehand, and I pushed them back. But I feel like I could have, attacked those. And if I was playing more like match one, I think I would have attacked those. I think I was playing tactically and pushing to him, thinking that he has a weakness in open.
So I guess I mean, seeing as how he isn't at this point very successful with his forehand, I would probably opt that you just keep pushing to his forehand, let him throw the points away. But obviously, tactics change, and you can't just keep applying the same
Yeah.
tactics.
So
So
let's
if he
let's see what
starts
happens.
landing, if he
Okay.
starts landing forehands, maybe you shouldn't do that anymore.
If I remember correctly, I think that was my strategy going into match three to just keep doing what I was doing in game two.
Yeah.
But all right, let's play and see what happens.
Ooh, high push. Well, still missing. Okay,
Oh, he missed the forehand again.
you did.
So far the tactics working in the first point.
Oh, missed another forehand. Yep.
Another high push. That time I attacked it, and got the point. So I'm still attacking somewhat. Just not as much, in my opinion, not as much as the first game.
No,
There, okay. I
forehand
just
through now.
I just missed it. I don't know what you feel about the form there. It seemed decent for me, and I just missed it wide. I think he put heavier side spin on that one. A heavy push there. He landed.
Oh, wow. That was like an emergency block on his part.
Okay, but he got the point. So he
Yeah.
attacked. We kind of had some blocking, and he got the point. So I don't know if he's doing anything different. I'm not sure in terms of where he's pushing to, the spin he's applying. I'm not sure.
Ooh, another lucky net point. That's your third one this entire match. All skill, obviously. Yeah, that was a really awkward push. Like,
I'm apparent. It seems like I'm going for heavier pushes several times, and that time I missed. Um, I don't know about my push technique, and that was maybe a separate discussion, maybe a discussion for a podcast, because I've I'm kind of interested in. I've noticed a lot of different techniques for pushing. I'm not sure how I should be pushing. I guess.
oh, yeah, your forehand, you slammed it down,
Yeah.
like straight down.
So there, I missed a smash. Tactically, I'm not that concerned with that. I feel like still overall I'm winning most of the smash points. I feel like he's putting me under pressure though on those because he steps away and blocks, you know. So I always know like in these cases here,
No.
oh, he got that. I always know in the cases where I'm smashing, I'm gonna have to land a few in a row. So, you know, I'm not gonna be able to win just on one smash because he's able to block. So it kind of puts me under pressure, you know. But and that I think that a bit influenced my tactics in that like okay if I attack he's gonna block and then I'm gonna have to really work for the points. They aren't gonna be easy points. Whereas if I just push until he misses, that feels like a easier, safer way to win. You know, and I think that was one thing going through my head here.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about that. You just straight up missed it.
Backhand opening again. Oh, okay. Now I'm missing a lot more of like
Yeah.
you know so things I wasn't didn't feel like I was missing in the first game or two.
Yeah, your pushes, your
So yeah, one thing I'm wondering is, oh, that was a good backhand down the line. But one thing I'm wondering here is, it's very easy, especially when you're in the match, in these situations, to think, okay, what am I doing wrong? What did I mess up? But on the contrary, what could he be doing differently that's messing me up now? You know? Okay, there was like a dead push, and then I pushed it long. I don't know if you saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But so he won this game. I think on the surface, I missed, particularly on the forehands. I missed some key forehands.
You dumped a couple pushes in the net as well.
Pushes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think
So
you I think you missed at least 3 or 4 points just in a push where it was dumped in the net, or that last one we saw where you just pushed it off the table, right? Because it was a had less spin.
yeah, but I think the analysis for me is, were those just mistakes on my part? Well, I think they were mistakes, but I more get the feeling, like we saw in that last point, he did that dead push. He's mixing up his game slightly and kind of throwing me off. Is actually what I think is happening when I'm rewatching this.
No, just a general comment. I also realized that you do a lot of these backhands where you lean in like that. You see that? You're like leaning in on the forehand side to do a backhand.
Yeah.
Gotta work on that footwork, man.
Yeah. Contrary, I could just be playing the forehand for those, which is maybe what I should be doing.
That would also.
But agreed. My footwork taking those wide backhands.
Well, first off, he got that forehand, and I think before he was not getting those
Yeah.
forehand.
So I almost, when I was rewatching this, I wonder if he in fact perhaps missed those forehands on purpose earlier. I don't know
No
if he would have done
way.
that.
Nobody
Yeah,
misses
but
purpose.
I mean, that's what I'm feeling. When I think about the match and that he was about to go down 2-0 or down 2-0, I don't think he would risk missing on purpose. But I mean, I clearly, I think I underestimated his forehand after like four misses in a row. I just have in my mind that, his forehand sucks and I don't need to be scared of it. But in reality, I think I needed to be more scared of it.
These last
Scared
two
of it.
points you just missed yourself. Like you hit the backhand into the net and a
Right.
forehand.
Can we replay those then? Because I want to see why I'm missing them. I'm not sure. That kind of just seemed like a mistake on me. I mean, I tried to play a really wide one. I think my footwork sucked. I could have moved over more, but
Yeah,
it wasn't like a heavy push on his part or anything. So
forehand into the net. Here we go. Forehand into the net.
yeah, see
Push,
that one.
push.
That one was kind of close, but yeah, I think I didn't lift it. And you didn't really see me get down a lot, you know. So
Coming back to one of the things that I want to work on, which is physical strength. You got to have the strength to get down that low. Got to get those quads.
yeah, interesting though. Like I don't so much view it as a strength issue as I just don't think the technique was right. I don't think strength was limiting me on that, but I could be wrong. Okay, that forehand, like look at his forehand there. Like it was a decent forehand, like lots of brush, you know. So
Well,
that I mean, there he missed it, but like that one 2 points ago was like it was a heavy brush forehand. There not a lot of power behind it, but applying the top spin and then me often pushing that lawn. So
I mean, he probably also sees he's missing forehands and trying to make the appropriate
doing
adjustments
the
to get.
brush more, yeah.
See, look at his reactions. His reactions are not the reaction of a person doing things on purpose.
Yeah, well, at this point, I don't think he's doing this on purpose. Anyway, I think at this point, I'm realizing that he's landing a lot more forehands. And I'm thinking the key is it's not that powerful. I don't need to be scared of it. I just need to be able to block it. So just be able to block that. See, I'm doing that motion because uh, I'm not doing the blocking motion. I'm more like countering it. So I'm like, oh, I just need to block that, like push it forward. But in retrospect, I'm not sure if that's really the smartest thing. I think I should be I think I should be taking away his opportunities to attack. And instead I'm dealing with what happens after he lands the attack. I think I should be doing the first thing. I should be trying to take away his opportunities to attack.
He's still missing a lot of
He's
his.
missing a few. Yep. So that's giving me like the hope that like I just need to keep letting him miss. But in retrospect, I don't think that was the best idea. I'm missing
No,
some of his serves.
yeah,
He's mixing up his serves.
yep. No, you just missed two pushes in a row on that.
I think game three and game four, his serves got a lot more effective. My serves kind of stayed the same. He was still returning them pretty good,
Mhm.
whereas he mixed up his serves and he was getting a lot more points direct off the serve than I was. So that made a difference. So he won these last two games. And then I think particularly in game four, he adjusted his forehand. He was doing a heavy spin, but not a lot of power. But I was having problems blocking that long. And I was very focused in this game and already starting in game three, I think, just like trying to focus on being able to block that back. Because, in my mind, I'm just thinking, okay, there's not that much power to it. I just need to block it back. It's not that hard to block it back. I just need to. I felt like if I could just block that back, I could win the match. That was like the key for me. He's still missing some of his forehands.
Yeah.
He misses some. When he gets them, it's not that good of a shot. So if I just block it, um, I should be able to win, right? Because I just narrowly lost the match these last two. If I
Mm.
just get a few more blocks, I'll probably win it. But I don't know if that was the best strategy. What do you think, Jeremiah?
Well, I mean, he did get a. It seems he's getting a better feel for his forehand, but still making a lot of mistakes. But I also think you're making more mistakes than you were in the first and second
Yeah,
matches. But I think that came down to kind of feeling each other out, right? Because in the first game or two of the match, you're still trying to figure out each other's serves and like
yeah,
how deep to push, like how much spin is on each serve, blah blah blah. Like in the first game or two, he was pushing really high, giving you a lot of opportunities, but it seems he's not giving you as many opportunities because he's figured you out.
yeah.
But
I do think like the first game, he was. I do think he let some go high on purpose. To be honest.
no, I do not think so.
Did you
I
see
think
how
it's
high those were? Remember, he's
yeah, they were
rated
that
1200.
they're rated
Like
that no, they were that high because he didn't know what spin it was. So he just, you just go for the default push, right? And then it's like,
maybe,
oh, that has less spin on it than I thought.
maybe, yeah. But I do think I'm
This one.
making. I do think I'm making more mistakes because he's adapted to me. Whereas I don't think I think he's adapted to me better than I've adapted to him. So he saw what I like from the
Yeah.
first two games, and then he's like, okay, I like the push like this, or I like it in this position, and he's just like changing that up slightly. So
See,
I think he's doing stuff like that, very
when
tactical.
we get to watching one of my matches, you'll see that in the beginning with my serves, people have some difficulty, but then they'll start to get it down, and then they just return it just fine, and then it turns into like your typical game, right, where we have to rally back and forth, but that's still very
Yeah,
for me that's one of my weaknesses is trying to stay in the rally and not making my strokes like too big too soon on like shots
yeah.
that I really shouldn't be doing.
All right. So game five, coach, what's your advice to me?
Give up. Just throw in the towel right now. Just he's got you. Or
Okay.
will you win? We'll find out, I
All right.
guess. Well, this is totally unfair getting coaching from the point keeper. What is this? All right, here
I
we
th-
oh, he's ready for you, dude.
I think I recall our teammate. He basically told me just attack more like the first two games. I remember that's what he said. I don't know if that's I actually took that advice.
It's kind of funny when it's the advice is pretty simple, right? Hey, you know how you won the first two games? Just do that. Why don't you just do that? And it's
Yeah,
like, okay, easier said than done.
yeah. So the first point, I mean, I am on the attack.
But he just does a simple block to your forehand and throwing it out. I think that's just
Yeah.
you just missed, right?
Yep. So he is. I think he is targeting my forehand there, and he actually floated it up kind of high, and I still missed it.
Yeah, it seems he's just trying to block it back. Oh, good attack on your part.
Yeah. So he's testing me a lot with that wide serve, but
Forehand.
yeah,
Yeah.
serve wide to the forehand, and overall I think I'm overall in the whole match doing a decent job on that because I don't think it's that easy. That's a common lefty righty thing,
Hmm.
but it's not a huge advantage for me. Successful backhand opening and into
That
the
one
net after the forehand.
you didn't like rotate your body, you just like swung your arm
Well,
across
yeah,
to your
just
body.
really stiff shot, right? So that one, I'm not sure
I
why I
think
missed that.
I think that one it had more underspin, right, than
Okay,
you normally.
so maybe
So
he
look
just,
how much you saw how much he pushed that. So I
yeah.
think it had more underspin. And for the other backhands that were pretty successful, they probably didn't have as much underspin, right? For you
So
to have to
yeah,
lift.
so I think this is a good tactic on his part, right? Just
Yeah.
regular pushes and then occasionally really load up the backspin like he did there. And I don't think I realized that. If I realized that, I'd prepare for that or just push it back. But instead, I
Yeah.
did the same opening as I normally do, and it went into the net. So
Yeah. Because
Just
I
to,
think your backhand opening is good once, some of the spin is off of it. It's like lighter backspin. But once it's like loaded up here with a stronger push, you have to really accelerate your forearm to get through it, right? But
yeah, I'm not really starting with a paddle that low. In practice, I'm able to do that, but what I'm doing here in the match is not really like opening loop. It's kind of like a weird hybrid of a flick and a loop, I would say.
yeah,
Which in the long term, I don't know if this is actual backhand form that I want for opening.
you
But
know, what's interesting is I have kind of the opposite problem where I actually put my arm below the table for pretty much every shot. So if it's a just a top spin to top spin,
mm,
you should be,
yeah,
I would say like this, where you're above the table and you're just going to hit it forward, right? But I
yeah,
will get into like a hybrid of
I do.
loop top spin type of form, and I don't working on it, working on it.
So what's the score? It's probably like pretty close at this point, I think. I wish we could see the score.
Oh, that one, see, you just missed yourself.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I wish on my serves I had some more in the bag. I feel like on my serves, he's just having no trouble with them. And I've kind of like given up almost.
What is this,
Oh,
the fourth,
lucky,
fifth net point for you?
lucky forehand.
Yeah, see now, well, he got that forehand. I think that was actually his first forehand that he went for this game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just been blocking and pushing, and then you've been kind of controlling.
So he's been playing pretty passively. Yeah.
Yes. But that was his first forehand he brought into this game,
Yeah.
I think.
And if I look at my forehand form, it definitely looks worse. So is it like I'm more nervous in the fifth game? I'm not sure, but it just looks. I mean, that one, yeah, just missed the ball. And then, some of them, I just looked really stiff. Whereas in game one and game two, not saying I have a good forehand, but just looked better. There, I almost
Yeah.
feel like I needed to watch the ball more through the
But
contact.
that one where you went out here for this, uh, that's a, I feel like you would have also had to put your arm lower for that to start that. Like you should have been out to the left more, so you should have moved left, right? So
Yeah.
you're more leaning into that. Uh, and then you should have also dropped your arm more.
From the way I was returning that, I must have thought it was a top spin. I don't
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if it was though, but I do think that if I thought it was a backspin, I would have. But I have a problem, especially with my forehand, not lowering it enough. So I'm not sure. But
That one was he loaded the backspin up. You could see
yep.
like how
So
harshly yeah.
he's done it several points now, right? Loading up the backspin on the push.
That one he got you with the serve. He
Yep.
got you with a top spin. You pushed it and it went up into the sky.
Oh, missed the serve.
Oh, lucky points coming
Oh,
back to bite you. Yeah. He's cashing them all in now.
oh, I liked what I did there. I did the backhand, but I opened his wide backhand,
Yeah.
and I got that point. Okay.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah, I did a more controlled forehand there.
Forehand killing you again.
Yep. Yeah. I also thought that had very closed angle there. Maybe it should have been more of a lift. May have been a misread. Oh, so
Oh, and
there,
that's it. That's
I
it.
think,
He came back.
and that last one, I think he did the open push again. He just did that dead push, and I missed it long. I think overall game four is basically like he just applied the tactics he learned in the first four games. So in terms of where he was pushing it, he was just varying the push to my middle and backhand, pushing more to my forehand where I'm weak. And then when he pushed to my middle or backhand, he was varying the spin, and I wasn't dealing with that good either.
Yeah, so it's either like a heavy underspin or more of a dead ball. And then
Yeah.
with heavy underspin, you just hit it straight in the net. The dead ball, you throw them out, right?
Yeah, so thinking about it, it was tactics and really the tactics of just like varying his pushing that
Yeah.
won game 5. Like just
Yep.
really simple. Like he didn't
And
have
he
to attack or anything.
exactly. I think in the first two games he realized that his attacks weren't really all there, right? Because he tried a lot with the attacks. So that's also another point, right? So in the first two games, he threw away a lot of his own points. But
Yeah.
once he got rid of that, where he's like, okay, I'm just not going to attack, I'm going to block.
Yeah.
Now he's playing safer, meaning it's going to be harder for you to win those points off of his mistakes.
Yeah.
So now it's on you. It's on you to not make the mistakes.
Yeah. So I think that, what we were talking about in game 3, where what was your advice to me in game 3 was like just kind of like push it to his forehand and let him
Mhm.
make the mistake. He kind of did what I was trying to do for him to him in
Yeah.
games 3 and 4, but I did it in games 3 and 4, but I didn't win those matches.
So really, and at this point, right, where you're trying to attack and take advantage of openings. He's just trying to keep the ball on the table. And I think
Yeah.
we've all seen these matches, right, where really the only option for you, assuming like you've lost confidence in your own abilities to open the attack, is that you would just keep pushing. And we've all seen these games where both players have lost confidence and they're just pushing back and forth. And you're like, wow, when is this point going to ever end?
But yeah, I don't know. I think the ones I won were when I attacked more. I think that it seemed to me kind of like games 3 and 4 and 5 to some extent that like for the more passive game he would win those. So
Yeah.
does that mean I should have played more aggressive throughout the games?
Well, I think
My initial thought was yes. Now I'm kind of unsure.
so. That's the thing, right? So I think you are still playing generally the same throughout all of the games. I don't know if there's necessarily much that changed for you. I guess you dumped a few more balls into the net and stuff, but what really changed is he stopped attacking. Like he just gave up on attacking altogether. So now all those points that you won from his mistakes, you can't get those anymore. He's now essentially elevated his play, if you want to call it that, by becoming more passive and defensive. So now instead of the point ending on the third ball where he misses an attack, now the point is ending on the fourth ball when you miss your attack, or it ends on the fifth or sixth ball, right?
Game 5, yeah. But although I do think in like game 4 he landed a decent amount of his attacks.
Yeah, well,
But
just get better. Just become a champ.
I still think overall, you know, he won this match on tactics.
I don't even know if
Uh,
his tactics were that
uh,
different, other than I'm not going to attack as much.
uh,
If he's not going to attack, then guess what that means? He's going to push. And if he's going to
okay.
push, then it's up to you now.
So we have a little bit of a disagreement. I think he adjusted his tactics. I think I was very much trying to adjust tactics and a
I
bit.
think I think he definitely saw that yes, your backhand is stronger. So he targeted your forehand, but he discovered
Okay.
that like game 1, he was already doing that. And I would say that your forehand was more successful as well in the beginning and it was less successful at the end.
But
But if
what made it go bad? Like was that just me messing it up or
so
was
that
that
could
him
be
changing something?
yeah, probably because now he's pushing more, right? He's pushing more where he does a deep
Yeah, so he's
underspin
changing
push.
it up. He changed his pushing. I mean, that's a tactical change. Like 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 when I think back to what I did I change up my pushes in this match? And I think the answer is no. I don't think
Yeah.
I was tactically pushing. I was pushing to keep it on the table like 80% of the time.
Mhm.
And is that what 1800 level players do? Of course not. Is that what even like 12 or 1300 level players do? No, 12 or 13 level players push tactically. You know,
Yeah.
who
Unless you're me.
pushes with no reason? A 500 level player. I mean,
This guy.
really. Even
This
a
guy.
even a 1,000 level player should be pushing tactically, and I don't think I was pushing tactically. So right there, big mistake for me in
So
this match.
so for me, I push with no reason. I just like, all right, here's the serve. I hope this goes on. And then I do my push. Oh, wow, that worked out.
Okay, so we've identified a big place for you to improve.
I think it'll be funny if you watch my games. I think my pushes are pretty weak. But that's why I've kind of like, I'll try to make up for my weak pushes with more aggressive play. But that in itself is, it's just really difficult to actually do right to begin with. So,
Yeah. So, well, we've talked about this match that I had. So next time, I think we can do that. We can watch one of Jeremiah's matches, and then we can break that down. So let's see how
all right,
he's doing with his pushes, and what else we can identify in his game. So, all right, anything else to wrap it up for today?
get good. Dude, work. Yeah. Dude, you
All
got to
right.
work on those legs.
I'm probably not going to, and that could be a mistake. I'll admit
Yeah.
that. So
Wrap it
this
up.
has been the
Go.
first Chump to Champ match analysis video. Post a comment on what you think, um, and any tips you have for me to improve. And otherwise, yeah, I'm sure I'll get slammed a lot. I'm prepared for it. It's all right. I'd still like to see you guys' comments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.